Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. And so we enter spring. We'll be having a Time for Change call this Wednesday night at 9 p.m., which is tomorrow, and then a Reverse Aging Health call on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe we don't always see ourselves as sweet and innocent people. Yet, deep inside our very first memories are a childlike innocence and playfulness that is lighter, freer, and more pure than the cleanest, freshest snow. Trust this gentle, sweet being inside you. We're all completely untainted, all of us, the gods within these bodies, untainted, unquestionably innocent inside. This innocence is our real nature, which will never, ever, ever, ever change. Honor this great purity inside you today and watch how quickly we all bow down to one another. There are no mistakes anywhere at any time. None. Whatever appears to be wrong is simply our own false imagination. Robert Adams. We don't. It does get a little confusing for us on this planet because we're taught to believe that there are mistakes made, that we make mistakes. But in reality, all we're doing is experiencing. But see, all these things have to be put on us, and then we absorb them, and then when you make a mistake, you feel guilty, right? Embarrassed, whatever. These are all feelings of suppression. There is a great power that is guiding every moment of our lives. Every decision, response, and action that we take each day has a cosmic force that is pulling us in a certain direction. This divine direction is always showing us the most abundant, effortless, and enjoyable and prosperous path to follow. This guided path is inside all of us, and once we find it, it will always lead us to finding profound inner peace, a deep sensual feeling of flowing naturally with this life, and the most satisfying experience of life, of basking in our succulent spiritual nature. The path that we talk about is within. That's our true path. That's the force, this force that pulls us into that direction. Most of the time, we either ignore it or try to brush it off. Right now, I'd like to invite everyone to make this a very important moment of your life. Look and listen to where your source of divine guidance is coming from. Look deep inside and notice what part of your body holds the greatest wisdom and feelings of inner peace that you can find. If you cannot sense anything, imagine what it may feel like to hear, see, or feel this wisdom. Imagine a very wise master guide was sitting beside you. This amazing magical being knows everything, is never wrong about anything, loves you deeply and eternally, and will always direct you to the right path, no matter what situation you're in. Imagine how you'd feel from having a long, deep, intimate conversation with this person about your life. Get a sense that you being divinely guided and deeply loved. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building something new. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building something new. Socrates. It simply happens that the deeper we can relax into our physical body, the easier it becomes to feel and know our divine inner guidance. The mind will try to test us by playing guessing games, doubting the information that we receive. Yet the body has the ability to intuit something higher and listen from this all-knowing space. The divine guidance that we have has been working within us our entire lives. It is not a stranger to us. It is that real to us, that true spiritual essence, who we always were. When we discover our connection with our inner guidance system, we will feel an immediate shift in our energy. We will feel more centered, grounded, at peace, and whole as human beings. It's like a missing part of you is recovered and all is well in this world. You may also start seeing miraculous things manifest, seeing the state of perfect synchronicity that is all around us. You simply feel free. You will feel and know that without a doubt something higher is helping you. There is a feeling of safety that stretches beyond the physical world and a real loving connection with everyone and everything in existence. You won't have to pretend to be someone to get anything you want again. You won't have to pretend to be someone to get anything you want again. You will simply be swimming in the ocean of love that's all around you and perpetually flowing through you. One of the greatest life lessons which all human beings get to learn in this life is knowing how to make the right decisions. The ironic thing is that we simply cannot form an honest desire to make wrong decisions. We simply cannot form an honest desire to make wrong decisions. There is something deeper running the program that has this super positive agenda. No matter how hard any of us may try, we cannot try to make a bad decision. We may think and believe that we're making one, yet there is something deeper in us who has an ulterior desire to enjoy life in some bizarre way. This life that is beating our hearts, pumping blood through our bodies, naturally desires to do the best that we know how to live life, to get the most pleasure that we know is available with the resources we've got. Often, the reason that making decisions can be a challenging experience is that the mind and the heart feel separated. The mind steps in the way of the heart's inner knowing, and it tries to take control. It starts trying to figure out what are the best and worst possible outcomes, fantasizing how we will or won't personally benefit from whatever is to come. Now, the mind attempts to believe that it knows exactly what outcome will manifest in the future when it makes this one decision. It projects an idea of how life will be, and thus we start missing out on the whole reality, the isness of existence, and we become blinded by the mind's fantastic movie projections and egoic assumptions. If you could only keep quiet, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. Nisargadatta Maharaj. When it comes to major life choices, such as which person to settle down with, where to live, what to do to make money, and which new future opportunity to dive into, the mind takes these decisions very seriously. It may start creating a secret fear about making the wrong decision and get attached to making the right one. There are no wrong choices in this life. There are only life lessons. Whenever the mind becomes attached to any idea, we are blinded by it and cannot see the bigger picture, nor hear our inner guidance. Usually, this attached idea is based in some judgment about what is right and what is wrong in life. Funny thing is that if we give the idea enough time and talk about it with many others, our beliefs and desires change, and we end up having to drop this attachment. When we spend enough time reflecting on the multidimensional spiritual being, who we truly are, we ascend to a higher level of consciousness and have to release whatever thoughts that are left clinging to the mind. All our programmed judgments, assumptions, beliefs, morals, and ethics tend to unwind and release on their own. Our old system of beliefs, then, has to recalibrate, morph, and assimilate itself to fit into this highly expanded perspective. It's just like how a child's feet are designed to naturally outgrow their shoes. If we tried to push and force their feet to fit in last year's shoes, their daily life would become a very long, painful, and debilitating experience. The biggest problem with the decision-making process is not that there is a wrong decision that we can make in this life. The real issue is that the mind can continue to insert doubt and fear into the choice we made, long after it's already made. Once we make a decision, we have to keep making that same choice again every day. It's a path that we're all following and a road we are traveling on. Now, if we try to follow too many roads in this life, we begin to feel lost. It's not that we will be lost. It's that our minds will simply feel confused. The relationship we have with our decisions is everything. It's very revealing about how we relate to ourselves and our relationships with others. Our approach may be forceful, fickle, or oscillate between feeling hesitant and then swing over to being overly confident. The mind is never, ever 100% sure what it wants. This is the nature of a dualistic mind, which is what all minds are. When it lets go and finds the divine source of our being, then we can discover what real trust and commitment are like. We must choose to relax into the most safe and secure place inside our hearts in order to know what it is that we truly want in life. The life of every human being is designed to experience massive spiritual growth. One thing that can personally help everyone in making major life decisions is remembering that everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Yes, everything. Just look at your past. Is anything the exactly the same as it was back then? If you make a bad choice, so to speak, and you mess things up in this lifetime, You will get another chance to do things differently if you want one. This lifetime now is the one that you've asked for to take all the risk you never took before. Do you believe that your last lifetime, there were risks that you did not take? This lifetime, there are many risks that you was asked to take. So it's totally okay to take big risks. Just be smart about it and compassionate with yourself. Go easy on yourself. When you make choices that don't turn out the way you think they should have, make this one little commitment to yourself, and amazing things will start manifesting in your life until the day you decide to leave the body. Being infinitely patient with yourself is what will help you. Infinitely patient with yourself, not hurried, not worried, stressed, and fearful. It'll help you and others ascend. Your soul has its own agenda, process, and timeline for awakening that you cannot push any faster than it can grow. It's like forcing a caterpillar to come out of the cocoon and try to fly before its wings are fully developed. When you are awake to your divine succulent nature, you are no longer stuck in the dream, the mind. And you can see the bigger picture everywhere you go. Taking this one baby step back from the mind makes life much easier. And you can hear the deeper source inside you guiding you to make those decisions that bring out your expansive, loving, and abundant state of being. Once we find the spiritual essence of this moment, we can have true confidence in ourselves, trust our intuition 100% of the time. In this state, we automatically manifest the most amazing future. And this opens our entire lives to experiencing a higher consciousness and love. There is more patience, happiness, and an abundance of laughter as a natural byproduct of finding this source inside. The people who can apply this practice to their daily lives becomes the most amazing human beings on this planet. Even when people are cold, harsh, and ruthless with us, it's our chance to see the real present they are giving and truly heal that cold heart aspect that is being reflected inside ourselves. Without compassion for others, we cannot listen to our deepest intuition and feel the higher direction it's pointing towards. We must choose to be compassionate beings to feel guided, which starts with not giving any negative comment or attitude from another any precedence over the warm, fuzzy, trusting, open-hearted feeling. We must choose to always dive deeper than the negativity and nurture the exploration of our own positive thinking and inner healing. We must choose to invite ourselves to listen deeper than the judgmental mind and find the sweetest source of love, which is the true gift that will enable us to always hear the real guidance that is available inside us all. In order to access this love, we simply must trust in it and practice loving everyone with all our heart. If we are not approaching everyone with love, then life becomes one big, massive shield protecting our sacred, lonely, wounded self. It cannot find something to love inside everyone, right? If you cannot find something to love inside everyone, then we will never heal the deepest wounds inside ourselves. We must choose to truly surrender, let down our most intimate shields, because if we don't, then we are the ones who miss out on this life the most. There is a divine melting and merging available within each breath of our existence. This is when the richest and juiciest life takes over. It's the most amazing thing when we can awaken that spiritual light in the eyes of every being we meet. Only then can we have the greatest life experience of them all. Oh, that we are the source of love itself. When the heart is innocent and the walls have disappeared, you are bridged with infinity. You cannot be deceived. There is nothing that can be taken away from you. And that which can be taken away from you is not worth keeping. There is no possibility. You cannot lose your real treasure, Osho, which is the God that you are. By feeling the loving energy in your heart each day, you will find a spiritual depth that satiates your every desire. Whether you are battling depression, anxiety, fear, or loneliness, or disease, the soft, subtle, loving force is still alive in you. It arises in your heart with a simple, patient request to feel it. Doing so, it soon will transmute, transform, and liberate any and every fearful energy you are in. At the core of your being, you are the source of love itself. And your body is a natural loving machine here to experience all the greatest pleasures in this world. When this love becomes the center of our lives, we start seeing the most perfect conditions and manifestations, knowing we are fearlessly guided by love every single breath of the way. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we are in. Relax them head to toe, inside and out. You relax the body through the breath. By concentrating on the breath, easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth, we move into the now. We move into the now. And the now does what? Well, these bodies we have, I think we all know it. They're like this super magnetic sponge. They absorb everything. Anything that the ego mind can conjure, or the heart mind, the body is going to absorb. It's going to feel. The body is our feeling mechanism. So to speak, the ego is the cart before the horse. The heart is what drives everything. The heart is what pulls us and moves us through life. Effortlessly. So you can imagine we have this subconscious mind in these bodies, right? So that goes with the body too. And that copies everything. Everything. And it copies stuff that isn't even yours. And it records it and it stores it in your library. And it replays it. Now, a lot of us aren't aware of that. But that's what it does. It replays things. So we find ourselves doing things that we've done before, and we say, what am I doing this again for? It's because subconscious mind has replayed an experience or a situation or an event over again, but in the now, in the moment. Wild. Now, in order to relax the body, we focus on our breath. Our breath is the power. It's divine positive energy. We gods enter these bodies. We power them up. And once we do that, because I'll tell you right now, when you leave the body shuts down. It sustains, but it goes into a low energy. because we leave enough energy with it when we do leave it, so we don't lose it. So by focusing on the breath, we do many things. We still the ego mind, which means we leave them alone. We still the subconscious mind. We leave it alone. There's no way to be thinking about the past or the future, because you're only in the moment to moment, in the now. And this eliminates the mind chatter that we all have. We have that mind chatter 24/7. And then it also moves us out of this incessant, this super highway of tens of millions of thoughts flying by like clouds in the sky. And they're not ours. They're everybody else's that's ever been on this planet. In it, on it, above it, and below it. All animals. So this is what pulls us out of the now. And on top of that, we generate, each of us, over 60,000 thoughts a day. And one way to differentiate between, is this my thought, or is it someone else's thought? Is it a program? Because they're tricky. The ego mind's tricky. And the ego mind make you think that thought is yours. It's got your name attached to it. Well, it's got to be my thought. But that's how they sneak in. And then you identify them. And this is when we practice to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times, and to stay in the deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, highest, the highest, highest, eternal gratitude. So when we are pulled out, because we do get pulled out of the now, most of the time we're hardly ever in the now, because we're constantly being pulled into the future or the past. We just say, okay, so I've floated off here. I'm off into these other thoughts that aren't mine. So I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now 3,000% of the time, every single time. It is a challenge for all of us, because we've been so conditioned, lifetime after lifetime, to either be in the future or the past. And our subconscious and our ego mind, they won't exist in the now. So you can see why they fight tooth and nail to keep us either in the future or the past. One or the other or both. Now, many of us don't stay in the now, but for maybe a few seconds. And it's just practice is what it is. We just practice. We make a concerted effort, knowing through the heart mind, this is the only way we're going to master the ego mind and the subconscious mind. And we all have the ego mind. None of us are exempt from the ego mind. None of us have moved beyond the ego mind yet. Some have a little bit better understanding than others, but we're far from being in the now 24/7. And the more we practice it, the more we will begin to embrace it. It changes everything. Now picture yourself standing in front of three paths. Now you look at them, and they're pretty much the same. The center path has a canopy of trees that's grown over to form like a ceiling, a roof, and they're all shimmering gold, the leaves, the branches, the bark, everything. And you notice the path itself is a vibrant, brilliant, emerald green flaming grass. Appears to be grass. And they're all designed the same way. What you do notice, as curious as we all are, we look at the left one and we say, that, of course, that's the past, and we know it, but it's really, really worn. And then we look at the right one, the future, and it too is really worn. But the one in the center, the now, it looks like it's hardly ever been used. We all reminisce, we all have memories, and it's fun. It's a fun thing about life, that we can go into the past, we can savor some events and everything that are brought on by just out of the clear blue. You might be driving some familiar area, walking through a park. A scent or a smell in the air might trigger it. It just could be anything. And you just kind of quaff off into, oh, that was a wonderful time. This reminds me of that time. It was so fun. I really enjoyed that time. I'd like to visit that again and have that time again in the now. And also, we have a library. Each of us do. We don't access it because we don't know we have it. Many. Some do. And it's called the subconscious mind. So what we do is we open the door, turn on a light. Everything's stored there, as far as you can see, shelf upon shelf, everywhere, packed with stuff. A lot of it you don't even recognize. But you do recognize some, so you go to the shelf and you pick off some books and pictures and movies. And you sit in the easy chair and you watch the movies, and you review the pictures, and read a little bit from the books. And you experience, again, the same experience that you had in the past. And some of them you look at and you say, oh, and this one I won't do again. This one wasn't fun at all. Because we're here to enjoy ourselves and have fun. But then we put them all up, turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in life. And on occasion, we revisit our library. But some of us will stay there so long. And I don't believe it's conscious. I believe it's unconscious. They stay there so long that they take that past, they bring it into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past. And they relive that past and that future. That's why people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, all of us want to know ahead of time in a lot of ways. So we look at the right path, the future path. So we walk down there. And we want to know things now. We want to know them now. We don't care to wait. And we want to know a lot of different things. When am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? Or when am I going to be well enough to enjoy my life? When am I going to meet my lifelong romantic partner? When am I going to have a better job? When am I going to have a better boss or a house or a car? And we want to know. We want to know this stuff because we're not in the now. We're in the future. And none of us are exempt from it. So and then you seek external authority. External authority tells you a bunch of information, right? And they tell you, well, in 3 months, this is going to, you're going to be, experiencing this, and this is going to take place, and so on and so forth. Well, you take that with you, and then what happens if it doesn't occur? You suffer because you were expectant upon it. You had expectations, and you had attachments, and it didn't work. So you were disappointed, let down. This is why, see, we choose to either suffer or not. Now, does it make sense that why would we want to suffer? So we stay in the now. And we have some expectations at times. It's a really fine line. And we know that we don't attach ourselves to anything. Why attach yourself? Because you get let down or disappointed if that thing you've attached to yourself doesn't come out the way you want it to. Does that happen? It's happened with all of us more than once. So you just say, I'm not attached to this. If I were to, in other words, you could test yourself. If I were to lose this today, whatever it may be, right? It wouldn't bother me because I am not intimately attached to it. Okay? This is how you find out what you really are attached to, and to remove that attachment. And here's another thing: when you're overly attached to money, you'll lose money. Okay? When you're not overly attached to money, you'll gain money. Big difference there. Now, money is a flow of energy. So are we. So if the money flows, you don't worry, stress, fear, with anxiety of not having it, because by doing that, you will continue to not have it. The universe says, here, I want to give you a bunch of money. Right? And that sounds funny to a lot of people, but it's true. I want to give you a bunch of money. I want to give you all the money you could possibly imagine. But you won't let me give it to you because you keep lowering your frequency and you keep dropping out of the stream of abundance that I keep sending to you 24/7. And then you wonder why, by getting frustrated, irritated, and angry, why that's happening. And you don't correlate or connect the fact that you're the one that's negating yourself the wealth and abundance. Worry, stress, fear, all the rest of them that the ego mind throws at us. Now, if you were to look in your body, the body that you're currently in, you would see 7 lights, starting from the tailbone to the top of the head. What are they? They're, on this planet, they're called chakras. What's the definition of chakra? Wheel. These are wheels of light. Each one's a different color, much more vibrant than the lights on this planet currently. And they're spirit etheric energy. We, the gods in the body, are spirit etheric energy, omnipotently powerful. So we flow through all of these chakras, wheels of light. Now, they can get out of alignment, bent. It's like a steel tube at times. You can bend it, and it looks crooked. And at times you realign it, and get them in line so the energy is not disrupted and the flow of the frequency isn't disrupted through the spinal column, through these wheels of light. Disharmony in emotions, physicalities can occur. We flow through these bodies, and we are experts, as the gods that we are, on these bodies, right down to the quantum quark. We haven't yet, but we will. We haven't yet fully discovered the understanding that the gods that we are can heal these bodies at the blink of the eye. That's all connected to the journey within. Now, we all are consciously aware, or we wouldn't be in these meditations. What is consciously aware? Consciously aware means that you know, through your heart mind, that you are of and from the God in that body, that the body that you're in right now, the God that you are, is of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So we know that the God is heaven. Heaven is not a place. Heaven is you, the God that you are. The heaven place is a matrix trap. So you're heaven, body, earth, heaven on earth. And when you walk this planet, literally, every step you take, you're creating paradise. not only that, you are shining your light 24/7, infinity and beyond, 360 degrees. You can direct your light any direction you wish. You can blast it all day long. And what is it? Does it deplete you? No. Does it weaken you? No. And this light emanates from the deep, pure, eternal love that we all are, the gods that we are. This is the highest of the highest high frequencies. Now, some of us may, during this lifetime, discover, since we know we're the light, right? When we decide to leave the body and we enter the sacredness of space, what will we do when a light shows up in front of us? Knowing what we know, okay, being aware, we won't pay it any attention because we know that we are the light. Not some light that shows up out of the clear blue, chases you around until you enter it. That's another matrix trap. If you were to take a starship off this planet, far enough out so that the planet looks like a basketball, and you would see that it glowed. We have, for goodness sakes, we have 8 billion humanoid physical forms and that 8 billion gods are inhabiting. And we don't even look at the fact of all the trees and the bushes and all of the other animals and everything else that gods are inhabiting to experience them. So this planet glows. And you would look at all the lights around in the universe, and they would pale in comparison greatly. They'd be like a lit candle in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. So a God-planet paradise that glows, that no other light can come close to. And that's what we're creating in higher dimensional frequencies through our heart minds and not our ego minds. Now, we have parts of ourselves that are asleep. We all know that. There are parts of the gods that we are that are asleep. They will wake up in their own time. We deeply love them, no different than we deeply love the parts of us, the gods that we are, that are awake to a certain extent, consciously aware. But those are the ones we communicate with. We're not separate. Every species, every life form is one. There are civilizations we have never met that we will meet. And you'll understand that the God within them and the God within you is not separate. One. It's one. So 800 billion light years away, one. A foot away from each other, one. Doesn't matter. And the numbers are in the googolplexus is about as close as you can come to count the numbers if you choose, when you choose. A googolplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of googolplexes and trillions of universes from every direction. This is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Then archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, descended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yah, Yeshua, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Now, light energy beings with this planet, do they come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations that we don't see because the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. These are the ones that are in the light spectrums, the red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, green, ultra green, blue, ultra blue. But they do come. We are familiar, and the bodies that we're in are very dependent on this particular group, part of it. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form and hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now ask your bodies one thing. With the elementals, can the bodies that we're in sustain themselves without air, water, fire? Earth, ether, wood? And the answer is no. We would be forced to leave these bodies. If they didn't have air and they didn't have water or any other elementals, we would be forced to leave them. This is how dependent these bodies we're in are on the elements, the elementals. Now, the archangels. They're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do, which means we don't see them like we see each other. And we don't really know that in the middle of the meeting, when we're talking, some complete stranger. You ever done that? You're doing something, and you're out and about, and somebody just out of the clear blues pipes off some kind of a hello, or they start talking about something. You turn around and you go, oh, and you start talking, and it kind of flows, and everything's fine, and then you end the conversation and go about your business, and later it dawns on you, you say, you know what, that wasn't just a regular conversation. I feel that was an angel. And you feel a little bliss. And it was an angel. And they've been sending us messages and conveying messages to us for thousands and thousands of years. They'll appear to help you out when you're thinking about, boy, it'd really be great if I had an extra pair of hands. Boom, something happens and you have an extra pair of hands. Or you get stuck in a snowstorm and it seems like there's nobody around. All of a sudden there's someone there helping you to get out of the snow. Now, the message that they do deliver, which is their paramount message, is delivered in many different ways. Isn't it magniglorious and spectacular and absolutely stupendous to be alive in these bodies? To experience physical life? Because, guys, when we leave these bodies, we're pure love light energy. We're a ball of this brilliant white light. We don't, it's not like we have eyes, fingers, toes. We don't. We don't experience, in our spirit form, we don't experience love making, kissing, holding hands, having a nice dinner, walking in the park, feeling the wind on your face, having it blow through your hair, touching, laughing, crying, all of the things that we actually all take for granted. We don't have those. Why do you think these bodies are so enticing and seductive to us gods? Because we have an opportunity to experience physical life, material, physical world. We can talk, we can breathe, laugh, all of these things. But see, we never had a chance because we have our memories blanked and this incessant reincarnation over and over again. So how are we supposed to make any kind of a differential or comparison? We can't. We don't know that. So we literally, every single time we enter these bodies, every time we reincarnate, we're starting over. And that's something. And so we rediscover every time. If, in the event that we take that route, that we do rediscover, many of us will just keep going on lifetime after lifetime, not ever really, truly rediscovering who and what we are. So that's why it is so imperative that while we're in these bodies, we stay in the deepest and grandest of gratitudes, infinity and beyond. That will open us up to the journey, the infinite journey within. Now, the off-worlders, celestials and galactics. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, we're familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid of them. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our physical body evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered as one. Our focus right now is this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya. And it is complete, it's complete liberation from the lower dark matter, survival matter frequency. You can see it through your heart minds happening. You can see the darkest, the blackest of the blackest black. It is a mist. It's like a vapor that's evaporating from the planet. It is going out into the ethers, being consumed, and the souls being sent to pure consciousness where they no longer exist. This is going on every single microsecond. And if you ever care to sit back and watch it as a watcher, you can do that through stillness, focusing on the breath, being in the now, doing nothing. And we're all here in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all God, and we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, expand, and grow. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. This white light emanates from the God source, you, me, all of us in these bodies. It is the highest of the highest high frequency of pure, deep, eternal love. And we're flooding this planet, saturating and permeating it, head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. We begin to ascend. We come into full contact with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, it isn't like an ocean of glitter that we would depict on this planet. So we do our best to describe it. If you were to take a grand fireworks finale display, 1 billion times more intense than on this planet. The same with a grand finale laser light show display, and the ballroom globe, the ones that we're familiar with, that reflect all the light all over the place. But this was 1 trillion times larger, 1 trillion times more intense. All of these, combining them all into one massive crescendo, is about as close as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now we're curious, so we go to the reflective points in this ocean of glitter. And we notice these little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. We enter them. And we discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are teaching and learning and teaching from each other, ourselves. We were taught that the tree is life. Not so. The God is life. The God enters the tree, powers up the tree so the tree can sustain itself and support the God within it, so that the God within it can experience the physical life. That's everything on this planet. Everything everywhere, for that matter. And nothing nowhere. You can feel for a moment what it's like to be any one of these physical representations. You want to know what it's like to be a dog? Focus on the dog. Go into the now. Focus on your breath. And you will, for a brief moment, know what it's like to be a rock or a dog or a cat or a cow or a horse or a bear. It doesn't matter. A bug in the rug. But isn't it fascinating that we don't realize that most of the time? Because we're so enthralled with the material physical world outside of ourselves. And all this discovery is the journey within ourselves. We're immediately met with an emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor. Nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond that. And where does this emanate from? Where does this white fire armor emanate from? The gods that we are. The love that we're made of. The highest high vibrational frequencies. Now, it is impenetrable. Cannot be violated, breached, seduced, enticed, moved. So no demon possession, no attachment, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. They can't come near us at this high vibrational frequency. They'll vaporize, so they stay away. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether conscious or unconscious, low enough through hatred, anger, greed, fear, stress, hurriedness, revenge, envy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then the possibilities of demon possession, attachments, and other things can occur. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. We created this double column of light to remind us all that the first column of light, the purple transmuting flame, we can bring that in, transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where? They are no more. Second half of this double column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the double column of light to remind us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are within these bodies, to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight, the rain, the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the clouds and the skies. We are the trees and the forests and the soils and the animals. We are the mountains. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you see a sunset, a sunrise, a rainbow, starry lit night sky, it is you. It always has been. It is us, the gods that we are in these bodies. So through the heart-mind, you may want to, the next time you do see a sunset or a sunrise or a rainbow, that is the God that I am. Through the heart-mind, not the head, not the ego mind. That is the God that I am. Feel the vibrational frequency and the shift immediately. We continue to ascend above the planet. And as we do, those of us carrying physical form decide to step outside those physical forms and hover effortlessly above them. And the reason we do this is because, number one, it's really fun, and number two, we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now, in the center of the column, we notice this massive oblong sphere. The center of the sphere is this golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This, in turn, creates this massive, super bright white, misty cloud formation that you can see that is sparkling, it's electrified. It's just absolutely spectacular. And this absorbs right through our heart-mind into us. And it is like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest, purest, purest eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. Massive prosperity and massive abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are, each one of us in these bodies. Now, at the top of this crystalline tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. This golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. And it is flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We all created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. 7 days a week, every day, sometimes twice a day, all of us as one, the gods that we are in physical form, as pure, deep, eternal love, are literally liberating this planet as we speak, as we're in this meditation. All the time this is transpiring. It is a complete transformation, transcendence, ascension from the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Complete clean, pristine. a God planet paradise. Now, these meditations continue to grow, intensify, and expand, of course. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You can tap into it any time you desire by going into the now and focusing on your breath. It is your choice when you let go, not if you can. It's your choice when you let go, not if you can. Making the decision to let go of your problem is 90% of the battle. Making a choice means releasing the past and move forward with life. Letting go is a natural part of life. It is the initiating key in the enlightenment process. It starts when you stop judging yourself and your life and begin to merge with the experience of the whole thing. Make that decision today and let go of any indecisiveness and move forward with confidence that you can choose to take a baby step today towards letting go of your judgment on your life and enjoying the experience more often. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. The experience of bliss is happening to someone, somewhere, right now, this very moment on this planet. Meditate. Focus and tune into those beings who are already there. Imagine what they are doing, how they are being in the world today. Let their experience of bliss seep into your mind and your life. Write in your manifesting journal descriptive sensations and experiences. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here Wednesday, March 23, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. And our meditation on Thursday will be early. It'll be at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That's our meditation on Thursday, which is the 24th. That'll be at 10:30 a.m.